I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's our biggest sale of the year where all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Welcome to
Separate Bathrooms and other handy marriage tips.
Okay, we're going.
Congratulations, you joined us on Separate Bathrooms.
See,
Dun, 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 dun.
I thought you were talking to me. Congratulations. What for?
I know, you looked shocked when I said that.
What have I done?
You got us up and rolling again, honey. That's what you did.
I have. Everyone's home in our house. The dogs are loving it because they just don't know what's going on.
They are well-walked dogs.
Yeah. And we might have a few interruptions just because when toilets go off or whatever. And, you know, it's just...
Our youngest is actually doing her online dance class right as we speak.
Yeah.
So
you might hear a few thumps and lumps as she hits the floor.
Yeah. So we are on part 3 of our 36 questions that lead to love. And I came in to sit down to do the next 12 and Cam said to me...
I said, have a listen to these questions. Oh, I'll do one. Suffice to say, we're not going to do the last 12 that we chose.
Of that group.
Yeah, because one of the questions, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might be able to handle it. Also ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen.
We thought, we're in self-isolation. We want to be getting along right now. Let's not go there.
Here's another one. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? Well,
yeah.
I mean, I can think of a bunch of things.
I know, true. But we just kind of thought we'll keep it a little bit more lighthearted. So we found some other questions to fulfill our... Actually, we've got a baker's dozen, don't we?
We do, because the last one's good. There was one question in the group. It was like, who do you like better, Katy Perry or Taylor Swift?
T-Swift all the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Minnie Mouse. She's best.
Okay.
If you were DJing on the radio...
Here we go.
We're going to get straight into it.
Do it.
Yeah. If you were DJing on radio, what song would you play first and why?
I would play Mumford & Sons, I Will Wait For You. Because that was the song that me and my girlfriends all danced to at the farewell party for when we came back to America. And Mumford & Sons is my favourite band too. So
we've got to keep this happy. The video, it's on a phone somewhere. The video in our living room of, I don't know, it's probably about 30 people in there jumping up.
Yeah.
And singing. Everyone was singing and jumping up and down.
Gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Yeah.
It was a great moment.
Yeah. It was a happy moment. So I think of it as a happy moment, not as a sad moment.
Yeah.
But that's my first song. How about you? What's your first song and why, Mr. Smooth Operator?
Well, it wouldn't be Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the...
Thank heavens, because I don't think anyone needs to hear that again or Wind Beneath My Wings. I love Smooth FM, but those two songs need to exit stage left.
It is. A lot of people like that as a Smooth favourite.
I know.
They choose them.
I know. I should not judge.
I'm going to go with... you're going to be so surprised. Crowded House.
Yeah. Better Be Home Soon?
Nah. That's for you. Better Be Home Soon. There was one of my first records that I truly loved was an Icehouse. Or it was the Flowers who were originally Icehouse, and their first album was called Icehouse. And one of their songs was Can't Help Myself, and I loved that one. But it's not that. It's 4 Seasons in One Day.
Wow. Talk about a segue. Okay, we got there. Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's-
I was almost going to go, I want to go for the Ice House. I think I'm
Yeah.
looking at
Oh,
it.
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I think it's 4 seasons in one day because it's just such a great song. And I love the vocal blend of Paul Hester, who's no longer with us, and Neil Finn. Just beautiful. They were great.
yeah.
I'll ask the next question because I've got the piece of paper in my hand. If I robbed you, how would you describe me to police?
Okay. Very tall, over 6 foot. I'm going to close my eyes to do this so I can just. Okay, so very tall. He farted as he robbed me because he got nervous.
That's just rude. That's just flat out rude.
It's true. Tall, yeah. Grey hair, grey beard. Didn't catch the colour of his eyes. Probably brownish, greenish.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's so hard to describe because, of course, I know exactly what you look like. Incredibly handsome. Oh, in fact, he robbed me of my heart. He stole it away. Oh, my God. It's difficult to describe. Like, how would you describe me if I robbed you? I mean, that's just.
Well, if you robbed me, I think you'd probably have because you're smart. You would dress appropriately. I think you would have a balaclava on.
Yes.
You'd have
you're
balaclava
right.
on. You'd have gloves. You'd have the whole
Yeah.
shebang. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't probably.
You wouldn't recognize me
No,
at all.
probably not. But look, if I was to describe you, I would say
You don't have
long,
to describe me.
Long hair, sandy coloured, long hair, beautiful, broad shoulders. 6'6", what a whacker!
Wow.
Yeah, that was
tall.
Artie Jack from an old show. Yeah, so that's basically how I describe
Yeah.
you.
Want better sleep? It's time to toss out your memory foam and upgrade to an Awara, the organic luxury hybrid mattress with Sri Lankan latex wrapped around coil springs to provide contour and a touch of bounce for supportive sleep throughout the night. The best part? A 365-night trial, no questions asked. If you don't like it, we'll take it back. You can't go wrong with free shipping, free returns, and a forever warranty. AWARASleep.com and use code HEALTH for $350 off. Plus, we will plant 100 trees with your purchase.
All right.
Okay.
Question 3. Now, remember, these are great conversation starters.
Yeah. We
They're
hope.
good for the dinner table. And again, I will put these up on our Facebook.
You did the
site.
second lot, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So
Great.
there's,
Cool.
there's already 24 questions up there, and we'll have a fresh 12 for you when this goes to air.
What is essential for a long-term relationship?
Trust, humor. I think it's nice to have some mystery in there. I do. I think it's nice to, something that you don't always, like, I don't always know what's going to how you're going to respond to something. You're a little unpredictable. You piss me off sometimes.
That's
And
what's
then
important for
and
a
I,
long-term
yeah, and I know
relationship.
I surprise you sometimes. And so therefore things are a little unpredictable. But I think there needs to be a nice balance between predictability and volatility. No, but there needs to be a nice balance so that you don't always know and that you're being surprised. I'd say that's my answer to that. Off the top of my head, I haven't had any time to think about
Yeah,
this.
I know.
What about you?
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, definitely agree. Trust. Two happy people make for a long-term relationship. When two happy people are together, that usually helps for a long term, because if it's difficult if one is desperately unhappy.
So what
you know
happens
what I
in that
mean?
situation?
So-
What do you do when your partner is desperately unhappy?
Well, I mean, it depends on for how long.
if it went on for like 2 years,
Yeah.
during
Well, that's tough. I mean, I guess it depends on what's making them unhappy and, if there's something that can be done to support them but I know that I'm just thinking about, off the top of my head. Like that does help. But if you've each got the things that make you happy, is not entirely reliant on the other person as well. I guess that's more to the point where I know the things that make me happy is not all tied up in your basket.
Yes, thank goodness for that, because my basket's a bit small.
Your basket's overflowing with your things.
It is. It's a cornucopia of
Yes,
stuff.
it's about to get full of Easter eggs any day
Oh, I
now,
hope so.
actually.
You know I'd love my chocolate.
Yeah. And being, having things in common, and then also, like you were saying, having things that you still keep learning. That's really a big one, actually. I think long-term relationships work well if the both of you keep learning. I think that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Shall I ask the next one?
Sure, you got a piece of paper.
Okay. If you were asked to film a travel documentary, where would you choose to do it?
It would definitely be a place that I haven't been to. Mm-hmm. So, because then I'd be discovering it as we go. And I think that would be the freshest sort of thing. So there's one place I would love to go, and that is Cambodia. I'd love to go there and check it out. I've only heard great things about it. That's where I would go. I don't know much about it. That's the thing.
Well, there you go.
I've not, honey, I've not been to basically anywhere in Southeast Asia. So, I mean, I guess you could call Australia part of the Southeast Asian area, Asian Pacific. So, but Australia's the only place. I've not even been to Bali.
Oh, my God. And you call yourself an Australian?
I'm not even going to respond to that. I have worn a Bing Tang T-shirt.
Oh, well, you're halfway there.
Yeah, I found it in a second-hand bin.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. What about you?
Let
me ask you the question.
Yep.
If you were asked to film a travel documentary, where would you choose to do it?
I would have to say all around the Northern Territory, Kakadu, those beautiful areas that the Indigenous people of Australia know so well. And I would have an Indigenous leader take me around and film it that way. I just think that whenever I read Australian Geographic and they're showing places up there and the hidden, it's just so spectacular. And I've not seen any of that part of Australia.
Do our Indigenous Aussies take us in to show their secret spots?
I don't know. You guys, it's a mythical question, so I'm giving you a mythical answer.
Okay.
You asked.
It's like you got a mythical.
Oh, I should have said mystical, shouldn't I?
Yes.
Well, you asked what was my
Mystical,
thingy, and I gave
mythical.
you my thingy answers.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so you'd go up there.
I'd go up there,
into Australia.
yeah.
Do you remember a book?
Only to where we were allowed to go, though. I mean, there are places that I would not be allowed in, but yeah.
There is a book that was written in the late 80s called Mutant Message Down Under, where an American woman came to Australia and did that.
Yeah, but that's kind of been debunked, hasn't it?
Well, evidently she didn't do the walk that she thought she did. She didn't walk as far as she thought she did. But it's an interesting book. It's quite a good read.
Yeah.
Here we go for the next one. This is a good question. How long would your relationship last if your partner could read your mind?
Wow.
How long would it last, honey?
I don't think it would last very long, actually.
Why?
Because sometimes in my own head, I've got to say things. I mean, I don't say them all the time, but there are times where I've said some things in my head that I know I should never say out loud. Are you looking at me shocked? Come on, surely there's been things in your mind. I
will answer the question.
Excellent. Off you go.
Right. The question being, how long would your relationship last if your partner could read your mind? And I'm probably going to say not very long either. Because my mind, it's the place where I work stuff out. So often what I say in my mind is not how I feel, but I'll ask myself those questions in my mind and give you the discerning answer.
I thought you were going to say, and give you, flip you off the bird in my mind or something.
Well, yeah, yes, I think I've done that in that. Well, I don't know if I've given you the bird, but I've certainly gone, and that's the reason we have a mind to work out our
absolutely. I think that that would come up in all sorts of different relationships. You know what I mean? Just not even between husband and wife, or
boss and and co-workers,
mother and son, or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's question 6. When you are sad, how do you handle it?
I talk about it. And I name it, and that really helps. It's the first thing I do is I name it and I say, I feel really sad today. And then I can, because if I don't name it, if I don't own it, then I have a lot of difficulty. It seems it manifests more if I don't talk about it and just be able to go, this is it. You know, and sometimes sometimes journaling does help. And then once I've named it and owned it and gone, okay, well, it's not going to last forever. And then to get myself out of sad or through sad is often dogs, laughter, dancing, hugs.
In that order.
Having a good cry. No, not in that order. Just one of those. Yeah.
Dogs. What do you mean?
Pat a dog.
We got a couple of good ones for that.
How about you?
Well, I think that was really interesting when you said, name it, talk about it. Because that's not something that first came to my mind. When I'm sad, I will go to the beach, I'll go for a walk. It's usually in isolation. But I know the value of naming it. I know the value of speaking it out loud. But that's not often my first thing. And I'm wondering, out loud, and I guess through my dealings with other men in men's team, that a lot of us guys, that's what we do. We'll bottle it up. I think if you're a guy listening, I think it's really great. It's a really great action to follow. What you're suggesting is to speak it out loud straight away. To just say I'm feeling sad.
It's a pressure cooker otherwise. I feel like, and it just takes some of the steam out of it when you can name it and own it and go and have someone witness that. It's like, yeah, and particularly everything that we're going through now, and then someone can go, I feel the same way. It's like, yeah, got it.
Yeah. And then the best thing when you're the one being spoken to is to not give advice on how not to feel sad, just to take it in and go, yeah, I hear you. And let that be enough. Because as you say, it is the pressure cooker. Yeah. The lid comes off. I like to have that idea that a problem shared is a problem halved.
Number 7, moving right along.
Righto.
On a much lighter tone, do you think aliens exist?
Yes! Roswell, New Mexico. Area, what is it? Area 59 or something?
54?
Studio 54, honey.
51? It's
Area 51?
50 something.
Okay.
51.
Anyway,
yeah.
Yes, I do.
You do, okay.
I do. It's interesting to note, though, on that, there's been no aliens recorded on, like, Christmas Day, or that I know about anyway, but on significant days where someone's...
Wait, what?
Or when people are at home on holidays. It's usually... what I mean by that...
Like, why would an alien come on Christmas Day?
When everyone's at home, and everyone can see it. It's usually on a night that's pretty random and no one can see it.
Right.
It's just this random thing.
Yeah.
But have you seen those insurance ads? There's an insurance ad where they caught it, where the guy gets pulled up out of his car and he's been sucked up by
real.
an
It's
alien
real.
ship. That,
It's all real.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's on, if it's on TV,
It's real.
it's real.
Close Encounters.
That's right.
It's real. Yeah. What was your great movie that you loved, which the ending is terrible?
Oh, they run out of money on it. Yeah, the underwater one.
Yeah. The Abyss.
Yeah, well done. Drag that out of the
Thank
memory
you.
banks.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, that's a great movie all the way till the
Yeah.
end, and then they're walking on concrete in a Paramount backlot.
Dang it.
Not good.
Do I think aliens exist?
Do you?
I think there's definitely something out there. 100%. There has to be. For sure. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is a really interesting question. Do I say that about everyone? Every question? I think I do. Anyway, at what point does taking care of your appearance become vanity?
That's wow. Taking care of yourself means that you're taking care of yourself. And you are looking after that which you have been given. So if you've been given your motor car, is taking care of your motor car and keeping it polished and running well, is that vanity on the motor car? No, it's just taking care of your motor car. And I think the same way the body is the vehicle for our spirit, that in order to have your vehicle running well, and you want to be, I do anyway, I want to have my body work well into my old age, then I'm going to take care of it. Am I opening a can of worms if I start talking about plastic surgery? Is that vanity? You'd want to look different to what you do? I'm not sure about that, because I think there are some parts to plastic surgery which help with self-esteem. Yeah, that's an interesting question, but I think generally taking care of yourself is you're doing honor to your, or justice, or you're doing the right thing by the vehicle that you are walking around in, your skin suit. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because you're in that, you come from that world. That was part of the modelling world.
What do you mean?
Well, that was a big part of the modelling world that you were involved in for many years.
In what? How do you mean that, though?
Well, you were a model, so you had to
Yeah.
take care of yourself,
Yeah.
right? That was your job.
Yeah, but I think sometimes, I don't know if I did take care of myself, really. I just was doing me. Like, I don't know. But look, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's the way the question is phrased in the sense that it's like, at what point taking care of your appearance? That's the thing. Like, as you say, you're taking care. So, and I think that there's, I don't have an issue with women getting plastic surgery at all. In the sense,
Men, on the other hand.
or men, in the sense that it's the society that we live in. The standards for women, particularly, to be beautiful are so extreme that we're always attempting to catch up to what's pretty and what's nice and everything. And so if someone goes and has plastic surgery, I personally don't have an issue with it. When it starts to become, I don't think it's vanity when it starts to become, when people get more and more plastic surgery. I don't think it's vanity. I think it's insecurity. So that's why it's a weird question for me. Maybe it's vanity. So even that I feel like is insecurity at the base of it.
At the heart of vanity is insecurity.
Yeah, because I go,
You'd argue that.
maybe it's vanity if like while you're talking to someone, the person is constantly looking at their phone at their own reflection, or looking in the mirror and not looking at the person. They're just admiring themselves, or you know what I mean? So they're not connecting with the person right in front of them because they're looking at how gorgeous they are. Maybe that's...
I would argue that that's part of insecurity too.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, that's the thing. Vanity versus insecurity. So I think that's just a whole other
Can of worms.
Can of worms, yeah. Kettle of fish, whatever it is.
All right, my question now. What does forgiveness mean to you?
Forgiveness is when, for me to forgive someone, is when I can truly let it go. When I see that their actions have changed from when they've done something and they've said, I apologize and I understand, in that I understand that sort of what's gone on for them. And that it's not thrown back in that if I don't throw it back in that person's face, I don't hold on to the resentment about it. That's when it's a clean slate of forgiveness. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. I'm looking at the word on the page, forgiveness, forgive. It's not giving me any clues.
You went like way off in a direction. I thought, where's he going?
Wow, he's going to forgive.
Or
forgive.
Forgive.
I'm going to forgive you.
I'm going to forgive you.
It's around, for me, it's much the same as you've just described. There is acceptance in that as well, acceptance of what's happened. And it also, forgiveness implies that someone's wronged you too. So there needs to be, if you forgive someone, you've accepted what it is, you've accepted what has happened, and you've gone, all right, I'll let that go. And like you said, as long as it's not being thrown back at you later on and used as an arrow,
Yeah.
to hurt you.
Yeah. Then it's not really a clean slate.
Yeah.
All right, in 30 seconds or less,
Oh, wow. Right.
what advice would you give to your teenage self?
Oh, relax. Relax. You're going to be okay. Stay the course. Keep your eye on your intention, what you want, and be kind. Be kind. Is that 30 seconds?
That's less. You did very well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, you already know the answer. Have you had time to think about it while I gave you 15 seconds of my answer?
Do I already know the answer to myself?
Yeah. What are you going to say to yourself as a teenager? Don't go into modelling.
What would I say to my teenage self? Gosh. I would say don't take everything so personally.
Oh, yes.
Learn to like who you are. Slow down a little bit. Just slow down. I think I was rushing a lot through my teenage years to get out of them or something.
Well, I think most people do that, don't they?
Yeah.
You're rushing to grow up, and it's like, God, we're only teenagers and children for a very small percentage of our life.
Yeah, and I would tell myself to stay in school, finish school.
Like that teenager's going to listen.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of teenagers or younger years, question 11, what is the most childish thing that you still do?
Oh, you might be able to, maybe you'll be able to tell me this more than I will. Childish thing. Pinch you on the bum still, every now and again.
Is that childish?
I don't know, maybe. Stupid dance. I do stupid dancing. That's probably like a dance, like a 3-year-old would dance for fun. I don't know. That's my two. I can't really think of anything else.
All right. Well, you said before that I could think of something that you do.
Yeah,
that's
can you think of something that I do?
I was actually thinking more along the lines of you could probably think of a few things that I do that are childish.
Of course I know. There's the major one. There's the elephant in the room. Or should I say the fart in the room?
It's not so much the fart, it's the fact that I find them funny is probably childish.
Yeah. But a lot of people do.
Of course, because
a lot of people do.
They are funny.
Yeah.
And when your best friend's dad says that the day you stop laughing at farts is the day you grow old, if that's your mantra for life, then
Yeah.
you know, those words somehow resonate with me in a
Yeah.
major way.
You are. You've withheld that very well.
Yes, the most childish thing you do. Yeah, I still do laugh when people slip over, or
Yeah, I
things
don't
like
find that funny
I know
at
you don't.
all.
I know you don't.
At all. Do you know what I do? I still go out in the rain. That's one thing I still do. When it rains, I go out in the rain and get wet. I love that. Always have done that.
Well, actually, there you go. Along those lines, if there's a puddle to go through, I will always go through the puddle.
When you're driving.
When I'm driving, when I'm riding a bike, if I'm
Yeah.
running, I love sloshing through puddles.
Yeah.
Okay, we are on to question 12. This would ordinarily be our final question, but we're going to do an extra one after this one. What is something that changed you?
Moving to America. That changed the course of my life dramatically because of without moving to America, I don't think I would have started doing therapy work, doing body-mind work, becoming a birth assistant. I don't think I would have gotten there. I don't think that definitely was a massive change for me.
I can answer that question. A massive change in me was the day that I realised, or that I found out, that I stuttered. I had no clue
That you were a stutterer?
that I was a stutterer.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah.
And it was standing up in front of the school in grade 6 and not being able to speak. Words just wouldn't come out of my mouth. Mum and Dad were there, or Dad.
I thought you were
Mum was
younger. I
there.
thought you were 5 when you were taken to.
I got taken to a speech therapist when I was 5, but I had no reason why I was there. I didn't know why.
Oh, so it was grade 6. So you're at grade 6. You're about 12.
I was 12.
And then you understood that you were a stutterer.
That's when I knew I stuttered.
Because it was normal to you
Yeah.
that you were a stutterer.
Yeah,
Right.
it was just part of
Yeah.
what had no clue. No one ever said anything to me about
Oh,
it.
that's got to be
And so when I
devastating.
stood up in front of the school and went to make this speech, and no words would come out, and I remember saying to my mum, "I don't know what happened. I couldn't talk." "Oh, that's all right, honey. That's what you do." I was like, "What do you mean? That's what I do? You stutter. What's a stutter?" I had no clue, and that changed everything for me.
Wow.
Up to that point, it was like suddenly everything my whole world imploded.
Yeah.
At that moment, and I became hyper aware. I got shy, I got sort of introverted, and then the extrovert part of me would only come out when I felt comfortable to do so, and it was usually very bad timing. So I used to get in trouble. a
Yeah.
lot
Interesting.
because I was acting out from that place of that stutter.
Yeah.
Big one.
Makes sense.
Here's the last question, honey. Question 13, the baker's dozen. What gives you hope?
People being kind always gives me hopes. Always gives me hope. Yeah, when I see people being kind to strangers, kind to the ones that they love, there's so much hope in that. I think that's the best way I can describe that.
Yeah. Mine is kids. Just watching kids behave, watching them care for each other, watching them enjoy stuff, watching their ingenuity and how they just do stuff. And you go, wow, I'm going to learn something here from this. This is a whole new take on.
And that's our future
life.
too, isn't it? Right there.
Well,
So,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all wrapped up together.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Beautiful. All right, I'll put these 13 questions onto Facebook, onto the Separate Bathrooms Facebook page, so you can have them at home and you can sit with your family while we're in this crazy time of self-isolation and have a few laughs. Learn something too, eh?
Yeah, I hope so. And look, thanks again just for giving us your time and listening in. We're really loving doing this podcast, and thanks for giving us your ears for half an hour or so.
We'll be back next week with something else. If you have any suggestions, put them in the Facebook page.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, you can hit us up on Instagram too. Ali, what's your handle?
Oh, God.
What's your handle, man?
Ali Dada. I just cringe every time because you do this at the end every time. I think surely
No, I
they
don't.
know
Not every time.
my Instagram.
I don't do it every time. Well, I'm Cameron Daddo.
Okay. Yes, I'm Ali Dada. Sorry. Okay.
No problem. I'm going to press stop on this.
Okay.
And we'll catch up with you next week.
Got it. Bye.